Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers!
Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Kelly.
I'm Wendy.
Tonight we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 17, Episodes 16 and 17. Before we do that, we'd like to ask you to please go to our YouTube and subscribe, our Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and follow. And please give us 5-star reviews if you would. And thank you for your support. Before we start on Atlanta, I had a great day. I ran into the beautiful Rachel Fuda. She happens to have a shore house in the town that we live in, and I was lucky enough to run into her today, and she is so lovely, just as beautiful in person as you would imagine. And I spoke to her for a few minutes, and she's just lovely. I loved running into her. I told her we're going to miss her on the show. I told her I'm not even interested in the show now that she and Danielle are gone, but that's fine. We'll make do. But yeah, she's so lovely. So it was, if you're listening, Rachel, it was lovely running into you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's so sweet. The second thing I want to bring up is, I'm sure you saw that we heard on the Real Housewives of OC last week that Vicky's son Mike had said that he hasn't seen his sister in 8 years. They FaceTime, but he hasn't even met a couple of her kids. Now there's a rumor. I mean, I'm sure it's all over, but I saw, and I don't listen to Carlos King because I'm not a big fan, but I saw a clip of him speaking to Alexis Bellino. I guess they do a podcast together.
I don't trust Alexis.
It's rumored, well, Carlos actually said this. It's rumored that Mike has said, Vicky's son has said, rumored, allegedly, that he doesn't speak to his sister really because of her husband, Ryan. So I tend to believe this. I mean, we saw his behavior on OC when Lydia's beautiful mom, may she rest in peace, laid down on Vicky's couch. I mean, he was off the rails. So I tend to believe that there's something there. Something ain't right.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not a fan of Carlos King's either, or Alexis Bellino, but like we said last week, 8 years is a long time not to see your only sister who's got 4 small children.
Yeah, like, I think that, I forget where she lives, but I guess she never comes to California.
Oklahoma.
Or
I want to say Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, I think you're right. And I don't even think Vicky goes there often. Like, it's always like an issue. I don't know. This is all alleged and rumored. So
yeah,
but
I mean, I hope that's not the case.
I hope so too, because I would just feel bad for Vicky. I mean, nobody ever wants their children to not get along, or to not see each other because of a sibling or a spouse. So
I agree.
I hope for the best for them. I hope they work it out, because both Vicky's children seem lovely. So I hope they work it out. That's all.
Yeah,
all right.
I do too.
Let's get into Atlanta. First, we'll talk about episode 16, Halloween Hot Pocket. And we are back in the ATL. Shamea goes to meet with Maximilian, her attorney, and in her confessional, she's asked to talk about Scotland, and she basically shuts it down. Because we know how that ended. Which is fine.
We know what happened. Like, we don't need her to talk about it. We saw it.
And I'm sure she regrets saying what she said. Who wouldn't? You know?
Yeah, I know. But once it's out, it's out. Like, you can't put the ketchup back in the bottle. You know, it is what it is.
Exactly. Maximilian says that Rum Bum was a go up until this morning. And then the contract came in, and it was more about Shamea, like, buying into the product, like, not maybe necessarily being a partner. The Nichols family.
Yeah, initially they were supposed to be a stakeholder, and the contract that came through said basically that they could purchase it at wholesale. Yeah. That just means you're a distributor. That's not a partner.
Right. Basically, it sounds like they were just going to use her name and ass, basically.
I don't know that they wanted
So-
her ass because they weren't really big on the ass bottle. That was all her.
No, I know. And she already had she says half the ladies have already gotten their bums molded.
Yeah.
So she says she's in over 6 figures and they got to figure something out. So we'll see how that works out for them. I don't see it on the market yet though. So, and this was a while ago. This was last October. So we're coming up on a year.
No, it's not happening because because the next episode's the season finale and it says that it's not happening at the end when they do their end lines.
Yeah, so K. Michelle is at Goddess Mo, her yoga instructor, with her husband, and then Angela and Charles show up. And they are doing this to bring intimacy and sexual healing. And K. Michelle says Charles is an asshole, but she gets an asshole. I forgot she called him an asshole.
Yeah.
So the yoga instructor's telling them what to do, and it's basically like, you have your partner's like legs up in the air spread, and Charles is not doing it right at all. Like, I understand maybe he felt a little uncomfortable doing this on TV, but why'd you agree to go, though?
So, like, they're doing, I wrote down, like, they're doing some sort of breathing and gazing exercises with their partners, like, I don't even know what that was. And honestly, I wrote down, I agree with Charles. Like, I don't even know what that was either. Like, I'm not even sure what that was. Like, I don't know.
At least, like, K. Michelle's husband was like, had her legs up, spread, like stretching her. Charles was not stretching Angela.
Yeah, he said, put your feet on my legs. And she's like, that's not the way to do it. He's like, that's the way we're doing it. I don't blame him. I mean, I thought it was a little much, to be honest with you.
It was awkward. It was definitely awkward. To do on TV. You want to go do that with your husband, fine, but on TV.
Yeah.
So Angela asks Kay if she's spoken to Shamea, and she says no. And Kay doesn't think that was normal for Shamea. Angela says Shamea is a professional victim. So Shamea's not going to get any grace from Angela, let's face it.
I don't know who Angela's giving grace to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe Porsha.
That's it, because
Porsha doesn't need grace.
Safe. Right.
Yeah.
But that's safe to be on Portia's team. Kay says she and Shamea have been disconnected since Scotland, and she thinks Shamea feels left out and bullied, and she feels hurt, and Angela says she's the one hurting people. I mean, what she said at the end, she did. Then we see Porsha is doing a photo shoot with PJ. Super, super cute. And she's doing this so she could take down the pictures of she and Simon that are all over the house and put up the new pictures of her and Pilar.
I thought some of those pictures were a little odd. That she was like, who does pictures like that? I'm like, are you kidding?
I know.
Jesus.
Maybe she's trying to get like a modeling gig for PJ. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, listen, her daughter's beautiful. They're beautiful.
She is.
I like when Pilar told her to what did she say? Suck your tummy in or something?
Something about her stomach.
Her belly was sticking out. She was right. And then she sucked it in and it was gone.
Good advice, PJ. So Porsha says she's put herself in a box of being a wife. Well, yeah, because you were trying to marry rich, Porsha. And she wants to get back to herself. And she says that Mike is busy, so she's been swaying, and she needs to decide whose future aligns with hers the most. She says it's going to be weird to see everybody since the trip, and Shamea asked Porsha to mold her butt for her Halloween party, but obviously she did not do that.
That's not happening. That was not happening. She was not going. Let's just put that down.
Yeah.
She was not going.
Right.
She's not going to that party.
Your stupid ass party or whatever she said. So then we get like a little bit like Pinky's in the studio with her daughter. Angela's at a photo shoot for Fangie, and she tells Charles that she needs the other half of the money from him.
Mm-hmm.
Then Phaedra's helping her son get dressed for something.
Oh my God, that was so cute.
That was cute. I know.
I really do love him. What about the cookie scent? She said he smells like a cookie scent. He says, that's exactly what I want to smell, edible. I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. So cute.
He's adorable. So Kay shows up at apartment 4B meeting Shamea, a restaurant. And Kay asks Shamea if she thinks there was bonding or separation in Scotland. And Shamea says, I thought I was fighting for my life. And Kay says she doesn't see the fun-loving Shamea anymore. And when it comes to Porsha in Scotland, You came really low, really fast out of nowhere. And Shamea talks about the text that Porsha put out, trashing Shamea's mom. Not text, like a post, trashing Shamea's mom. And they had agreed years ago not to talk about the mom stuff. Shamea says she's going to therapy to navigate this group. And Kay says you can meet wrong with wrong. But Shamea says, when I don't do that, I'm still in the wrong. I'm still effed, is basically what she said. And then she says, I'm done. She said, I got it. I'm done.
She also said that she feels like this is a divorce between her and
Yeah, I mean,
Porsha. Like they were
for
best
sure.
friends. They were best
Since
friends.
like
And I
middle
agree.
school.
I really honestly am heartbroken for both of them. And from everything I've seen after the reunion and out there, I don't think that this is reparable. And that's sad. It's sad.
I mean, they talked about each other's moms. That's
Oh, I know. But they both did it. So they both did it.
I totally agree. They both did it. And quite honestly, Porsha did it first.
Exactly. 100%. But she is like Shamea said. Like Porsha will be forgiven, but Shamea will not. And that's the sad part. That's really the sad part.
Yeah. Shamea did invite Porsha to her party, and Porsha responded with, girl, I'm not coming to your dumbass party. You are sick as fuck. Please move along. I mean, she could have just said, I'm busy. But all right. And Shamea says at this point, she's good. Kay says she can't come to the party. God said she cannot go. She's never celebrated Halloween. She is a Christian, Methodist, Episcopalian. That's a lot of Christianity right there.
That is a whole lot going on.
It's a big ball of Christianity.
Yes, it is.
And Shamea's like, I didn't celebrate Halloween growing up either. It's funny because we're Catholic, so I'm sure there are Catholics out there that didn't celebrate Halloween, but we always did.
I know it is kind of demonic.
Yes,
right?
I mean, it's definitely.
But that's not how we celebrated. I mean, we're being Smurfs, and
yes,
we're not
I just
being
wanted to
these
put my
evil
plastic costume on, and the big ass plastic mask that I couldn't breathe through. Yeah.
Yes.
Drew is at her stage play practice for The Whispers, and she's practicing with Derwin, who is her old cast member from the game. She says Ralph is fighting for full custody, I'm sure, so he can stay in.
Did you know that she's like in like a theater, kind of sitting in theater seating, and he's in his car practicing his lines with her? He's in his car. Yes. Okay. I was like, what is going on here?
Well, it's probably all fake, Wendy. Everything Drew does is phony baloney. So she probably texted this guy and was like, listen, I need you to do me a solid. I need you to get on FaceTime right now and pretend that we're practicing lines for this fake ass play that I'm doing. That's not even happening.
Yeah.
Then she says she has another movie with Robert Richard. So Drew likes to tell us everything she's got going on, right?
Who is Robert Richard? Are we supposed to know who that is?
I mean, I'm sure some people know who he is. I'm sure if we saw him, we'd probably know who he is, but I don't know that name. And you'd think a name like Robert Richard, you'd know.
Richard. Yeah, you would think.
Porsha takes Miss Diane to her new home and that she has bought and paid for cash. And God bless her for it. Because that's huge.
Right. That's huge.
Buying
and you know what
your mom, your parent, a house cash and being like, here you go. And that was a beautiful home.
It was a beautiful home. She appreciates her mom and all the sacrifices that she made for her. And as much as we don't like Porsha, you cannot take that away from her.
No,
that was a smart move to sell the other house, get the equity out of it because there was a mortgage on it, and pay for this one in cash. So no matter what happens, her mama will always have a place to live. And I so love this. And I also love that she had Dennis there as much as,
And he was very appreciative that she invited him.
I agree.
So now we're at Shamea's party. I have to say, I think that Shamea looked amazing in that Avatar costume.
She did.
So good.
She did.
I mean, I know Sierra did it first on Summer House, but Shamea looked amazing. Shamea, it's basically a Rum Bum kind of launch Halloween party, and she's still hopeful that a deal will happen. Gerald liked the rum. He tried it. He liked it. Cynthia came as glue because she's the glue that's holding the group together. Love that. Pinky was a
She is.
zombie. Yeah, and Pinky was a zombie, and she said that her costume's given the energy in the friend group dead.
Yep. And so is Derek. Her husband was also a zombie.
Yeah. Shamea says everyone said they were coming except the big old fuck you one. And then we cut to Porsha bowling with Mike and Kay Michelle and her husband. Porsha said Jesus said no to Shamea's party, and Kay tells Porsha that she saw her text to Shamea.
And Portia's pissed about that.
Yeah, I mean, well, get over it, Porsha, because you sent the text. Right. So you don't, I tell my kids all the time, don't put it in writing. Kay asks Mike how he's treating her friend, and he gives her a kiss. Mike says he's in love with Porsha, and Portia's like, what'd he say? And Kay repeats it. And Portia's a little turned off at the fact that he didn't tell her that alone, and she said it in front of Kay and her husband, which obviously Mike was not in love with Porsha, and Mike was just there for Porsha to have a storyline. You don't think Mike? No, and you know why? He's been on other reality TV shows. That's the only reason. If nobody ever had seen Mike before and he hadn't been on reality TV before, I would have 100% believed this. But knowing that,
no, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Mike asks Porsha where she thinks they are headed, and she said she feels like they can talk about the overall a little later. Like, she's not having the conversation in front of Kay Michelle and her husband.
Blame her. She shouldn't.
Oh, I don't blame her either. Kay and Porsha are alone at the table, and Porsha says it's hard because she's dating someone else too. And she says she really likes Mike, but she saw a different side of him today. Then we are back at Shamea's party. The ladies are taste testing the Rum Bum, and Phaedra showed up as the Godfather.
That was great.
That was really good.
I loved it. That was
really, really good. But Cynthia said it's giving Don Corleone with a splash of James Brown.
She wasn't wrong. She really wasn't.
She wasn't wrong, and I love that because my grandpa Zazarino loved James Brown, so I'm very familiar, and I thought that was great. Kelly showed up. Was she Wonder Woman? Kelly? Yeah,
she was Wonder Woman.
Like a very elaborate Wonder Woman costume.
Yes. I thought she looked great.
She did. She's cute. And Jarvis was with her. So I guess Jarvis is the one who bought her the teeth.
Yes, he's the boyfriend she doesn't want him to be seen, so he had on a full mask.
Yeah. And Phaedra says she's glad she's seen him off camera. He's a very handsome man, but she doesn't know why he's hiding his face. And then we cut to Kelly in her confessional basically saying she's protecting him. And I don't blame her. Her ex sounds a little crazy.
I do not blame her either. 100% she needs to protect him.
Yeah. So Drew shows up, and then we meet Ashley and George.
Yes.
Dr. Caston shows up, and then all of a sudden we see Kay Michelle. So
when Dr. Caston showed up, I was like, oh my God, he went without her.
That's what I was thinking.
And then she was there. And you know what I think is very strange? Why do we not know his first name? Why do we only know him as Dr. Caston? I do not know this man's first name. He's not my doctor. I'm not calling him Dr. Caston. I'm sorry. What is his name?
It's not like we can't Google him and find out who he is. We know where he practices, and he's Dr.
He's a dentist.
I don't understand. Right.
He's not my dentist. Oh, I mean, unless
you're always supposed to refer to a doctor as doctor, though, because when we moved into the house I grew up in, we moved next door to the Sportellis. I'm just going to say it. And Dr. Sportelli, the father, was a doctor.
I don't think they're watching. Wasn't he an OBG?
He was. And I went to play with Elena next door one day, and I think my mom called there, or anyway, he answered the phone and she said, "Hi, is this Mr. Sportelli?" And he said, "Dr. Sportelli." He corrected her. He said, you always refer to a doctor as a doctor.
He corrected her.
I swear to God.
Stop it right now. That is insanity.
May he rest in peace. But as you could imagine, didn't set a great tone for the friendship in the neighborhood from that day on.
No, did not. But listen,
because you know how my mother is, and she don't like to be corrected.
Rosie don't play.
No.
What I was going to say is he's a dentist. So I have always referred to my dentist as Dr. First Name. Dr. Jack, Dr. John. So maybe Caston is his first name.
Maybe Caston is his first name.
Right?
I've never done that, though. Dentist, I've always said doctor in the last name. But you're right. Maybe Caston's his first name.
Well, now that I think about it, though, the dentist that I went to was all in the family, and they all had the same last name. So we always referred to them as doctor in their first names because it wouldn't fit.
They were all Dr. So-and-so if you went with the last name.
Exactly.
Well, that makes sense.
So we don't know. We don't know what his name is, but whatever.
No, but listen, I like him because he encouraged Kay to go to Shamea's party. I thought that was really nice. That he was like, no, you have to go support her.
And she went.
Let's face it, it's more airtime. Shamea apologizes for making anyone feel uncomfortable in Scotland, and Drew, in her confessional, says the apology doesn't land and it really needs to be directed at Porsha. Look who the lapdog is now, Drew. Shamea says she invited Porsha and she responded a certain way. Drew says it was a whole new low and they don't want to see it go deeper. Kelly says, but it was not okay when Angela said Shamea was sleeping with George. All the while, George's wife, Ashley, is sitting there.
Right
so
next
Ashley,
to her.
Yeah, gives her
dressed
side
as
of the story.
Tinkerbell.
Yes, dressed as Tinkerbell. And what was he? The guy
Joker.
from... was it the Joker? I know it was
the
guy
Riddler.
from... I think he was the Riddler. Yeah. Either way, they were both in lime green. She said, Ashley said, Angela asked her... This is interesting. Like, Angela asked her if she and Shamea were cool. And Ashley said, yeah, we're cool. And Ashley said, well, I just need some tea on her. And then as Ashley's saying that, Angela walks into the party. And Shamea says, we're talking about why, Angela, you were doing an investigation on me. So Ashley says Angela called her looking for some tea and she had no tea to give. And then Angela also used her husband's name in something else that was false.
All right, can
Angela
we just
says,
stop for 1 second? This is where I'm so confused about this whole George
totally agree.
situation. So first of all, when it comes out that Angela said that Shamea slept with George, right? Everyone was referring to him as the man with the green beard. And I thought that this man just had a green beard for whatever reason. But it turns out he had the green beard because it was at the Halloween party, which is at the end of this season. So this timing of this whole season doesn't make sense.
Was he wearing a green beard at the party?
Yes, because his character was green. So
I didn't catch
why?
that.
First of all, my first question is when they said the guy with the green beard, I'm like, why would somebody have a green beard? Like, this makes no sense, right? But he had the green beard at the Halloween party. So does he always have a green beard?
Scotland. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because they were referencing Scotland, so it had to have already happened. Because we know with production, sometimes they flip things around. But at this Halloween party, they were referencing Scotland. So it had to have already happened.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it just, to me, it doesn't make sense and it doesn't add up. Like, why? First of all, why would his beard be green if it wasn't Halloween? Like, that was, I mean, when they were talking about the man with the green beard, I was like, what? Like, why?
Well, this is what confused me.
Angela confuses me.
Angela says, you said that Shamea said that I said, you said, I said she was fucking your husband. And Pinky's like, this is a big old game of telephone and I am too drunk to follow. I wasn't drunk. Despite the fact that somebody on YouTube keeps calling me a drunk, I am not. I was not
Who's calling
drunk.
you a drunk? You were not drunk.
One of the people on YouTube that always like hates on us a little bit.
Ever. Who cares?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good. I'm cool. But yeah, I'm like, wait, what did Angela just said? Angela says, you said, Shamea said that I said that you said that I said she was fucking your husband.
And then Drew said, and Drew's like, okay, so Angela's vindicated.
Yeah, that which made zero sense.
Angela's never vindicated.
No. Yeah, because then Angela and Kelly start throwing shade at each other. And then Ashley says it's a complete lie that Shamea and George had a sexual relationship. And then, this is why, I think this is why Drew said that. Angela says, I said it preceded you. I meant it preceded you, Ashley. Like they slept together before he was with Ashley. And I think that's when Drew said she was vindicated. But then George rolls up and Angela repeats that George said he had to pay Shamea. And George says that was a joke. And Drew says Angela was vindicated, but she was not. Ashley says he has never been in her hot pocket. That's where the Halloween hot pocket came from. So basically, George said he had to pay Shamea because it was a charity event.
Exactly.
And she put it, no, it was a team building event for his company. That's why she had to get paid. She put together a team building event. Right.
Right.
So Phaedra's like, can we just agree that this is now tabled? And Shamea says, I don't need to call around to get tea on anymore. So then they start to match the bum to the housewife.
Right. They go outside, right, to match the mold bum to the housewife.
Yes. And then, so the first ass we find out is Pinky's. The second ass is Kelly's. And then we're on the third ass and we think it's Drew's. And then Gerald comes up and interrupts and is like, I just need to interrupt because I need to show you something. And he brings Shamea down and we think he's giving her another vehicle.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on.
But instead, it's that creepy guy, Terry, that Drew was supposed to go on a date with because her hairdresser set it up. And the guy didn't even, or he showed up and he left.
Or he didn't show up.
I think they said he left. He was there and then he left. And then Kay says, Kay's like, she rented out the horse and Terry. And Kay says, Drew needs to better produce. And Kay, I could not agree with you more. She is horrible at this housewife stuff.
She definitely needs to better produce. And
then she's fumbling this as much as Janet's fumbling the Valley, man.
Like, so she was supposed to be Cowboy Carter and Terry rolled up as a fake Jay-Z. I mean, come on.
Right.
It's bad.
It's bad. Yep. And that guy's, I'm sorry. I don't like to say that about people, but he's a little creepy.
He is. And then Drew's like, I had no idea. Like, I didn't know that they were coming. Like, I had nothing to do with this. How? No. And everyone's like, come on, Drew.
Stop it.
We are smarter than that.
We are way smarter than that. We've been doing this a long time, Drew. We've been doing this a long time, girl. All right, so that ends episode 16. Now we're on episode 17. Thank you, Jesus, the season finale, Rebels and Outlaws.
Okay, before we get into that, I would like to ask everyone, if you haven't done this already, please go over to YouTube and hit subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and give us comments, 5-star reviews, and you do not have to agree with us. Just don't be nasty. And that's it. And thank you if you've already done it.
Thank you. We open up with a Go Naked photo shoot with Porsha, Drew, and Cynthia. I actually really liked this, even though
I did too.
I don't like Drew, and I barely like Porsha, but I love Cynthia.
I loved it. Honestly,
pictures.
They looked
great.
They
looked great.
I did too.
Pinky's meeting with her team and announces that she signed franchises for Vegas and DC. Amazing. Good for her. Kay is getting ready for her glistening session for her big event. She is the only, I didn't fact check this, but she's saying it, so I'm believing her. She is the only African-American woman to sign a major label in Nashville. That's a huge accomplishment.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Pinky has Delia? Is that her? Is that how you pronounce her name? Her beautiful little daughter. Diella.
I think it's Diella.
Okay.
Diella. Yeah.
I'm Italian. I like to throw vowels in there all the time.
I get it.
Diella, she's got her at a pumpkin patch, and Shamea shows up with her kids, and then Kay Michelle shows up too. So Delise is Shiloh's nurse. She's there too. They're going through a creepy forest, and then the ladies sit down at the end, and Pinky says every time Angela was talking, Drew would stick up for her. Which, listen, we've said this before. Drew and Angela kind of came on as Drew's friend. They're both from Chi-Town. They're gonna have each other's back. That's fine.
That's it.
Listen, it is what it is.
I was surprised though to hear Shamea got a fine from her HOA for the horse poop, but not as surprised as I was to see the amount of the fine.
How much was it?
Was $2,200.
$2,200, yeah.
That's a lot of money. Listen, it doesn't surprise me because those HOAs, they take that stuff seriously.
And think about the neighborhood she's living in.
I know.
That's
it's
a nice
called Moore Manor, right? We learned that
I
the
think
very
that
first
was
season.
that was Kenya's house.
Wait, what's Shamea
Shamea's is
Morton?
Morton something.
Morton Manor.
Something.
It's Morton Manor, because I remember the first time Cynthia went there on her first season on the first episode. She's like, we don't even have an address. We're just showing up at Morton Manor.
Yeah. Yeah, they called it something, Morton something. Shamea says she's dodging bullets, and Pinky says there's a lot of tit for tat. And then they start talking about the horse, and then Shamea says she got the fine. And Shamea says she's standing 10 toes down on what she thinks is big, and Kay says she wants to have something where everyone is there, and it's for her album. So she's inviting everybody. And then Drew goes to see a house with her mom and Katrina, her realtor, and she's over living with Ralph. They have to go before the judge again to see who is getting the marital home, and she's just preparing herself for that. Did you see the backsplash in that kitchen?
No, I
The
didn't.
backsplash was nice.
I just noted that it was 7,500 square feet and 1.35 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big house. That's a big house.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Drew can swing that without selling the other one, but whatever.
Well, she can't sell the other one. She doesn't own the other one.
That's what I'm saying. So can she even buy I guess she could buy anything with a mortgage.
That's it.
Yeah. Drew's mom's turning 81. She don't look it, that's for sure.
She looks great. She looks great.
She does look good. Drew says Ralph wants full custody, and she now has to show all of the flights she has taken since 2023 to track her time. So I'm assuming it could possibly show that, if she was actually working when she said she was.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then Drew starts to cry. Love her or hate her. I don't like to see this because her kids are involved. What is this going to prove on national television, that she wasn't really working and she just chose to not be around her kids? Her kids are going to see this someday. I don't like that.
Yeah. And there's 2 kids with Ralph, and then she has her other son, right? So that he never adopted. So whatever's going to happen, she's going to have the other son. And it's just, it's awkward and it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah. Then we see Phaedra's in her conference room with her team, and she says Kelly's coming in to meet, and because her court date is approaching. The judge
has got a team. I was surprised how many people were around that table.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's only her. I don't think she's a sole proprietor. I think she's part of a firm. So she probably just walked through the halls and was like, who wants to film? Sign this release and meet me in the conference room. And whoever was dressed the best that day, they were like, I'll do it.
They were like, okay, you're in. So whether that's the case or not, the fact that she is doing this for Kelly for free.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is huge, because Kelly does not have the money to do this. And honestly, this is what I like about, I know people do not like Phaedra because of what happened between her and Candy, but I have always liked her. I know that she made a mistake. I don't know if you've seen this, but supposedly it's out there that Candy would like to come back, but she will not come back as long as Phaedra's there.
Well,
have you seen
I always assumed that Phaedra was only back on because Candy left.
Candy was gone.
Candy, listen, I love Candy, but you left and now Phaedra's on. I certainly don't think that they should kick Phaedra off now to bring Candy back. I don't think they should have brought Phaedra back anyway, because what she said, those allegations to me were extremely serious and damaging. But they brought her, whether I like it or not, they brought her back. And they're certainly not going to kick her off now so Candy can come back.
I don't know.
I'd say give Candy her own show, but they've tried that and it didn't work. But that's also because they put her mother and her aunts on, who are super annoying. Sorry. I cannot stand Mama Joyce. Listen, that was the worst part about Candy being on this show.
Is Mama Joyce. But I don't know if you've seen everything that's going on between Candy and Tamar Braxton.
A little bit. What is that? Is it over music?
I don't know that it's so much over music, or that she likes, I don't know if she's the one that started that, but supposedly there was some rumor started about Todd. And that Todd being
that makes more sense than it being about.
Yes. And yes. Listen again, I don't know. I'm just saying what the streets are saying. I don't know what's true, and I don't know what's not true. But there is some beef going on between Candy and Tamar.
I've seen clips.
We are not the people to break that down. I'm just going to put it out there. These are all allegations. I don't know what's going on.
Tamar is feisty.
So you don't think Candy is?
I know, but I'm just saying. I think Tamar might be a little bit more feisty. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into this. That's interesting.
Look into it, and I'm gonna just say, I like Phaedra on the show. I did like Candy, but I like Phaedra more. And I know what she did was wrong, but I'm sorry, I still like Phaedra more. And even as much as I don't like Drew, I still like Drew, and I still can't tell you why I like Drew. Because she does a lot of
on the
effed up
show
stuff.
this season. I like her better on the show this season than I did last season. I think she came in with a plan last season. This season, I think she's trying to be more like a Cynthia, and I actually like seeing it. So like I said, I don't think they should have let her back, but they did. So she's here, and I'm enjoying her. Drew is phony baloney. Nothing that comes out of that girl's mouth
again,
is
she
true.
is, but I don't know what it is about her that I like. And I will just also say this. I really like her more as a blonde than I do as a brunette. I don't know why.
She does. Listen, she looks great as a blonde. I love Phaedra with the red hair.
Honestly, I love Phaedra in every color hair. Phaedra
can pull off
anything.
all the hairdos. Yeah.
She can.
Like
just
Cynthia.
like Cynthia.
Cynthia, yep.
Cynthia's the other one. Yep. She can pull them all off too.
For sure.
All right. I'm sorry. I just got sidetracked. I just had to go down
listen,
there.
we always do. The judge, Phaedra says the judge has set a special hearing and they're going to prep Kelly for it. So they're focusing on two things, the children being able to film and the child support arrears. Those are the two main things to focus on. So Kelly arrives and she says that her ex has put her in a compromising position with her kids and financially. She's having very bad anxiety about seeing him and she just wants to get it over with. Again, I don't like to see anybody go through this because, again,
no, I don't either.
Her kids someday are going to see this and their whole lives are being put on blast by their parents.
No, I agree.
Phaedra excuses her team and two of them stay back. Kelly thanks her for taking this on and having her back. And Phaedra's like, listen, I know how this goes. I went through a horrible divorce. And then she gives her a present, which was a bra. So, I mean, obviously, Kelly must have fake boobs.
No.
Implants.
Kelly's boobs are real. Kelly does not wear a bra. And that is everyone's
And her boobs are
with
real?
Kelly. I'm almost positive they're real because if they weren't real,
mine
they'd be
are
up higher.
real and they're very big and I cannot not wear a bra. I don't sleep with one on, but as soon as I wake up, that's the first thing I do is put a bra on because I can't even walk around my own house without a bra on.
Well, when Kelly gets it, she's like, okay, well, I'll wear this if we win. And no, Phaedra's like, no, you need to wear it so we do win. And Kelly's like, I don't wear a bra. And she's like, that is the point. Everyone has said that Kelly does not wear a bra, and they want Kelly wearing a bra. And honestly, I want Kelly wearing a bra too. I want Kelly wearing a bra. I think they're real. I don't know if they're real or they're not. She's younger. I don't know.
It doesn't really matter. I just assumed that they were implants because they stand up on their own.
Well, don't
she's
really,
no young
though.
Chippy.
No,
but maybe they don't. Right. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So now Drew's having a birthday party for her mom. She had asked Ralph if she could have the party at her house, and he said no, so she had to get an Airbnb. A little fucked up.
Pastor Jeanette.
Yeah. Phaedra, Porsha, and Angela show up for the party. I'm surprised Cynthia wasn't there.
What about their therapist, Dr. Ken, showing up? What? How inappropriate? How inappropriate?
Yeah, so they go downstairs. So Drew says that the creepy guy Terry called her to apologize for standing her up. And Portia's like, well, now you got to go on another date with him. And she's like, no, Terry's benched. And then they go downstairs for a drink. And Dr. Ken, Drew's therapist, comes down to say hi, gives Phaedra a very long hug.
Weird.
I don't like that.
Weird AF.
Very weird. And then doesn't seem to want to let go. And then he tells Porsha he'll counsel her next marriage. And Porsha asks him if he's married. And he says, why are you in my business? Why are you in her business?
Listen.
The fuck was that?
I have never, ever in my life, and I've been to therapy. I've seen many therapists. I have family members who've been to therapy. You never invite a therapist to a personal setting? That is the most inappropriate thing.
I believe this man is probably not a therapist. Again, nothing Drew says or does is real. So this man is probably
that makes
her
sense.
dog groomer. It's probably her dog groomer. Because nothing
works
she
then.
says is true.
That works.
Yeah.
That totally works.
Yeah. So Black shows up at the party and her mom is like, oh my God, he's a real person. So this must be the first time her mom's meeting him too.
But he rolls up wearing a jersey.
Well, I didn't even clock that yet, did he?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was not a team jersey. It was just a generic jersey. Who rolls up at a party?
Like he just came from like a pickup basketball game?
I mean, I don't like D Class A. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
D Class A.
Yeah. Drew says they're still friends and they talk on the phone, but they both have a lot going on. So then Drew's like, I'm going to play my new song, but it basically sounded like a birthday song, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Wasn't it Happy Birthday, Happy Birthday? So is that her new song?
What I thought I was confused about that too. I don't have no idea.
God. So then we see Shamea's surrogate Daphne shows up to her house and Gerald's there. He's never met her before. So Shamea wanted her to come meet the family before the transfer. They're excited, but there's only one male embryo left. Daphne received the news yesterday that she has the green light to go forward with the transfer. And Gerald says, we're here for you for whatever you need. And then he leaves the room as fast as he can. Gerald does not want to be on camera, people. And I actually respect that about him. Listen,
I do too.
You know how I feel.
I do too.
The Jersey husbands, John Fuda, Joe Gorga, Frank Catania, Joe Benigno, put them on my screen. I'll watch it every night. But the rest of these housewives show, they just don't have it. So
Nate Carell.
if this guy doesn't want to be on camera, let him go.
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. Shamea tells Daphne about their journey. She says it's all in God's plan, but she's scared. And Daphne says, we just have to continue praying. And Shamea says her husband is so good to her in her confessional. She's like, he's so good to me. I just want to give him everything he wants. I really feel like she and Gerald seem so solid, right?
I feel like that too. But it's so weird because everyone wants us to think otherwise.
I know. And I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't either.
Yeah. I think they seem solid. And the fact that he doesn't want to be on camera. Like, I love that Charles likes to be on camera sometimes because I love Charles Oakley, but
he does it on his terms. Charles Oakley is on camera on his terms. And honestly, there's not a lot of men that can do it on their terms, but he is one of them. And let's let him
tell him a yoga pose, he's doing his own damn yoga pose.
He's doing what he wants to do, right?
Right.
You tell him you're showing up for this Fangie shoot, he's going to do what he wants to do at the Fangie shoot. You tell him he's showing up for a family dinner, he's going to do what he wants. We'll get there, but I love that family dinner. We'll wait until we get there.
Yeah,
I love that.
Too, yeah.
Yeah.
So Sway shows up at Porsha's house, and now she's described as her lady friend. Porsha wants to be intentional and honest with herself and not date all of Atlanta and just focus on the two she's got. So Porsha took Sway's course so she owns those salon suites and she does like a course on how to do that. Mm-hmm. Sway says that Porsha's a cute stalker for taking her class. And she says Porsha's been going 24 hours a day in every aspect of her life. And Porsha's like, well, that's some shade there. So Sway asks her where they stand because she doesn't like being part of the triangle. And Porsha said the baby being a deal breaker and Mike saying he loved her so soon scared her. So
noted that Porsha was flirting big time with Sway. You could see that there was chemistry there and Porsha was right there for it. Like I saw the connection between Porsha and Sway. I did not see it between her and Mike.
That's what I'm saying. I think Mike was a prop this season. I think Mike was a prop. And listen.
Yeah.
I'll take Mike as a prop anytime. Mike's
hot.
A very delicious prop to look at.
No, he's hot. Mike's hot.
Yeah. Sway says she is not dating other people like she was before. Porsha says, when are you going to not date other people? And she says he has a feeling. She has a feeling? She says she thinks spending more time together has changed things and it's a problem for Mike. That's what she says. So Porsha says, I'm a lesbian. And Sway says, you may be transitioning as a joke.
Oh my gosh.
But then she's like, I don't like to put a label on anything. And neither do we, Sway. So
no, we don't like labels. Labels are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nobody needs a freaking label. Just be you and be whoever you want to be. Don't label
It's
it.
all fluid, baby. It's all fluid.
Yep. It's all, yeah.
So Angela and Charles are having their family dinner with their kids, including Amari. And we find out that tenants are finally moving into that property in Decatur with the spiders. And she tells them about the Fangie shoot. And then the two younger ones are like, can we please leave? And they leave the table. Angela asks Amari where her wife is. And she says she's working. And Angela says, I haven't talked to her, Valeria, the wife.
Right.
About you guys getting married. So they call her. And then they flash back to Amari calling Valeria after that one conversation I think that they had with the therapist when Amari got up and walked away. Maybe not the therapist, but they had a conversation and then Amari got up and walked away. She was frustrated and she called Valeria. And Valeria did recognize that it hurt Angela that they got married without telling her, which I think that was probably important for her to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Charles says Angela felt left out and she had a right to. And Charles says Amari had to make her own decision. And then Amari basically says she's had regrets about getting married. And Angela was right about the work you have to put into it. And Angela says,
I didn't want to prove you right. Those were her exact words to Angela.
Yeah.
I did not want to prove you right. And Angela says, so do you regret getting married? And she says, sometimes I do. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. And it is hard. It is
Angela
hard.
says, you've seen us get married, me get pregnant, and then not knowing if we were going to make it.
Right.
And Amari says, this isn't an easy life, and you were right. And Angela says, I didn't want to be right. I just want you to be happy. And listen, that's all of us about all of our kids. We just want them to be happy. I don't need to be right. I just need you to live a
want
good,
you to be happy. Right. And
moral, ethical,
right.
faithful life. That's
and
all.
Maybe listen to us sometimes because we've been on this planet a little bit longer than you,
you
and we
might
have
learn
some life
something.
experience.
Exactly.
Just saying.
You might
Just
learn
saying.
something.
But I did like that. Listen, that I love that Charles was there for this whole conversation. And I'll be honest with you, he had a tear in his eye too.
I know.
And he had a tear in his eye too because him and Angela are solid. I think they're solid. And he loves Amari as though she's his daughter. He loves Amari. Like,
I mean, that son has to be what, 12?
I mean, yes.
And Amari's what, in her early 20s? So she was probably only like 9 when they got together or, whatever.
Yeah.
But, all right. So now we're at K. Michelle's listening party and we meet her sister, Shala, who
looks like her
pretty
twins.
much like her twin. Exactly.
I almost fell over. I did not know K. Michelle had a sister.
That looks exactly like her. Maybe they are twins.
I know.
But she says that, the sister says how proud they are of Kay. And then, were they in Nashville for this party, by the way, or were they in Atlanta?
I think they were in Atlanta. I mean, they were at I didn't write down the place. I think they were in Atlanta.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Drew shows up with a big-ass fan. Why was she holding that big fan?
Who knows?
And then we hear that Kelly did not have court yesterday. As a delay tactic, her ex's attorney filed 5 motions for the judge to review.
That's craziness.
That's a delay tactic for sure. They bring up the horse and Shamea says the horse shit in her yard and shows Drew the fines. And Drew says this is giving very corny, but I'll look into it.
$2,200. And she says
she gives it to Phaedra and she's like, here, you read it. Yeah.
And Phaedra starts reading and she's like, well, it looks legit. I think it was legit. I don't think she made that up. I don't think it was made up.
Yeah.
And Drew called her performative. Drew, of all people, called Shamea performative. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And Shamea said, girl, you brought a horse to my house. She's like, I didn't know anything about that. That was a surprise. Everyone's like, yeah, well, then how did he get the address?
Yeah, where, why the horse? Why? Was he giving
Because
her? Was he gifting her a horse?
Oh, he gave her the horse. No, he gave her the horse. She's like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with it now. No,
What are
he
you going to do
gave
with
her
a
the
horse?
horse.
You're barely living in a house. You got one
Right.
foot out the door at that house you're living in.
I know.
Creepy ass Terry. So Porsha shows up with Sway. Shamea says she did the best to salvage the friendship, but at this point, she's going to match Porsha's energy. Now, if you'll notice, under Sway's name, it says girlfriend, not
I
lady
didn't notice
friend.
that.
It says
Okay.
girlfriend.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Porsha says she's gay now in her confessional. And Mike found out by a post that she was exclusive with Sway.
That's crappy.
And she's like, yeah, I didn't do right by him.
No, she didn't. But I will say, I like her and Sway together.
Yeah, well, they're still together, so something clicked.
They're still together. Sway has very masculine energy, which is fine. I think
Sway's got swag.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
For sure, she's got swag.
And that's what Porsha needs. Like,
yes.
I don't have a problem with
Mike didn't,
Sway and Porsha. No, but Mike didn't, honestly. I think actually Sway has more masculine energy than Mike did, to be quite honest with you. And you want to call it swag, we can call it swag, but I think Sway has more swag than Mike had. And I think Sway is better for Porsha.
To me, Mike was easier on the eyes. But whatever. Sway's attractive for sure. Sway's attractive.
No, Mike was hot. Mike had the muscles. Mike was hot.
Porsha says it's warm in here, and Angela hands her a fangy. And it looks like a hairdryer, and it's snatched up. Porsha's
caught her hair. Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Not
so
good.
then we see some man walk out with a whistle, and Kay gets on stage and starts singing her new song, Jesus and Whiskey. I liked it.
I do too.
Then she sang her second song, Jack Daniels. I do see a theme here. Well, we knew she liked whiskey. No matter where she goes, she orders whiskey. Pinky says she loves Country K. Everyone's being really supportive. And Pinky says in her confessional, yes, friend, you better get it. And Drew could never. Kay says she has met on the mic. She has met some of the most beautiful women recently. She says, you guys have changed my life. And the last song is VSOP. And she hands Shamea the microphone. And Drew's like whispering, I don't even know whose ear.
I don't know the words.
I don't know the words. Don't bring the mic down here. And then even Angela took the microphone and was singing. And Porsha. And then Pinky.
And Phaedra. Phaedra sang. And then like Kelly. Everyone sang. Right.
Everyone sang, even Kelly. And Phaedra's like, Whitney Houston is not among us.
Mm-hmm.
That was so funny. So Drew takes the mic and acts like a complete asshole. She's like, fucking fake it, Drew. You fake everything else. Fake the song.
I agree.
And then she says to Kay, I love you. I love you so much. Okay. Cynthia says it's been a fun night and thanks Kay for bringing them together. Sway and Porsha toast to being exclusive. And
that's
then
her hard launch.
Out of nowhere, that's her hard launch. Out of nowhere, Drew says something about not feeling safe. And then Kay brings up not knowing that man or all of a sudden, right? This came out of nowhere.
Right. Yep.
So now we're talking about Black again. Kay says she didn't look at her DMs until after Drew said something. And Drew is showing text messages. And now Kay is being held back. And then Drew falls.
Right. She trips over her pants. Let's make that clear.
She did. So Kay says she gets DMs from a lot of men. And she always says, thank you for coming to my show. And Pinky's like, why are we still talking about Black? And that's what we want to know. Like, nobody cares about this guy. Drew says someone pushed her down, and no, they did
security.
not.
She said I wound up on the floor tackled by security.
Yeah, and Portia's like, well, your pants are a little long.
But she said while she was walking out, I tripped over my pants.
Yes, she did.
So she admitted to it. She did.
She's a liar. She's
a liar.
Fucking liar.
She's a liar. She really is a liar.
Oh my God. Porsha said Kay fixed her issues with Drew in Scotland and this argument did not have to happen. Amen to that, Porsha. So now we get to the end. So that's that's how the episode ends. I mean, they all take a picture together and then Drew comes back in.
But Drew wasn't in the picture they took together.
No. They didn't take another one because she walked back in.
I don't think they did. I think she was not in the final picture.
Okay. So then we get to the end. It says Phaedra is still the godfather of Atlanta. Pinky is nearly $4 million in debt and is filing Chapter 11. Oh, yeah. Shamea Rum Bum
But
is
wait.
done.
No, wait, back up. After filing for bankruptcy, she's on TikTok teaching the haters, do I say not as I owe? Do as I say, not as I owe. So she files for bankruptcy, and then she's telling people, do as I say, not as I owe. Okay.
Right. Shamea Rum Bum is done, and they're launching a perfume line, and then we see that they are pregnant. She tells Gerald.
I love that. I love that.
The transfer
I so love
took.
that.
Thank God. So happy for them. That's awesome. Angela has built a healthier bond with her daughter, and Fangie is in demand. Kelly, we see Drew went to the, what is it, Springs?
Sandy Springs. The Nana's in Sandy Springs.
Yeah, that it closed.
Right.
And then it does say that her kids are cleared to film, but her legal battles continue.
Mm-hmm.
Drew comes back and they reached a settlement. So they reached a settlement. That's what happened. She came back when they were doing all the recaps. They reached a settlement. She had to leave and lost custody and has to pay child support. That's wild.
But wait, back up. Also, Kelly's husband was found in contempt and is in jail. Kelly's 1 month later, judge found that he was in contempt and ordered and mandated him to be incarcerated until he forked over the $31,000 in arrears and that the children were allowed to film. And Kelly's like, I don't want my kids to know that their father's in jail.
Right.
So,
right.
So he was put in jail.
Okay.
Which is sad. It's very sad.
Yeah. K. Michelle dropped her country album on July 31st and is yodeling all the way to the bank. Porsha and Sway are 8 months in, and she's not engaged, but they're taking family vacations. So that's nice.
I'm good. I'm here for that. So on Watch What Happens Live, we have a couple things. K. Michelle was on, and Andy asked her what she thought of her first season. She said it was not what she expected, but it was what she needed. I love that she said that.
Yeah.
Andy asked if Drew should pay the HOA bill, and she said yes. I think she should.
Absolutely.
I think this is very interesting, and I want to see what happens in the reunion. He asked, do you regret this? Her only regret was her confessionals looks and the season she felt she could have done more. But also, she mentioned something about her relationship with Shamea. Something happens that she regrets. I don't know. I think we're going to see it in the reunion. Something between K. Michelle happened, and I don't think K. Michelle and Shamea are as close as they were. And I don't think Shamea.
They unfollowed each other, didn't they?
They did. I don't think Shamea saw K. Michelle for who she was, or I think K. Michelle saw Shamea for who she was. I think when I see that she unfollowed her, I feel like she's taking Porsha's side, but I don't think K. Michelle is the person to do that unless there's a reason to do that. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in the reunion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a shame because I liked the Kelly, Shamea, K. Michelle, Pinky a lot, like friendship. I liked that.
I do too.
Because, you know, it's Porsha, Phaedra, Drew, and Angela. So
Cynthia's in the middle.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We're over an hour. Right? Is this all going to be one?
Yes, it's one.
Yeah. So thank you and good night. Bye.